I understand now. Sorry. I was telling so many things without making the microphone on. So it's great joy to see you during the puja time. Today in India it is going on 8th day probably. This our time, their time will be 8th day evening. They are today they are morning, and now there will be the Sandhi puja soon. Yeah, they are the junction of the end of the 8th day and the beginning of the 9th day. 24 minutes of 8th day at the end, and the 9th day 24 minutes, 48 minutes. It is said that this is the period when the demon was killed. All our ego, all our pride, false identity has been destroyed. That is the symbolic meaning of Sandhi Puja at that time. So that is going on. That will go on soon, probably. Yeah, our time will be 6:30 or something, like 6 o'clock maybe. Our time 6:05 or something. Anyhow, so now please get a copy of the book, because if it is without book, it is no seriousness does not come. And it is available. It is not very difficult. On online you can find. You just type Isha Upanishad, small book. You can collect one. And now, did we start? Did we did the first verse or not? What did we do?
Maharajji, I think we started with the first verse and we went to a certain amount of what you call deeper explanation. But I think there is a consensus among some of us that it was not yet over.
Okay, the first verse. Okay, okay. Yeah. So we'll that like introduction. That was like introduction. Okay. So the very first verse. This is the, as you have said before. This is one of the grandest of the Upanishad, oldest of the Upanishad, and it starts with Santipat. Every Upanishad starts with a chant, and that is the peace chant, Shantipat. What is that? It is this, for this verse, it is Purnamada. Everything, this earth is full, that our world is full, everything is, if you take the full, out of fullness, that full, then what happens? Then what remains, that also the infinite remains. The infinite, if from the infinite you take infinite, then infinite remains. So this, therefore, that means the Brahman idea is given. So we'll chant with that. You can join me. Also, it is very simple. Om Purnamada. Om Purnamada. Purnamidam. Purnamidam. Purnat. Purnat. Purnamudachyate. Purnamudachyate. Purnasya. Purnasya. Purnamadaya. Purnamadaya. Purnameva avashishyate. Purnameva avashishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So this idam, this universe, what we see, it is that full, infinite. It is infinite. If you look at the physical universe, you look at that, it is, there is no beginning, there is no end, as it were. In the physical universe, visible universe. Purnamidam, Purnam, Purnam Ada, this and Purnamidam and Purnat. If that infinite beyond this infinite, this world has come out of that infinity. And Purnat Purnamudachyati. And if you take away that infinite world out of infinite Brahman, but Om Brahman is such, Purnasya Purnamadaya, if you take out that Purna, full infinity, then Purno will remain. That means it is simply saying what we now understand by this talk, that it's called the infinite plus infinite is infinity. Infinite minus infinite remains the infinity. That means it is unchangeable, absolute. That is Brahman. That is the main idea about it. And three types of Shanti means peace. We have talked about three types of peace because we have suffering of three types. One suffering is there, what I suffer for my own foolishness. So let there be peace in that. I don't do anything, but some people create trouble for me. So there is the second piece for that. Let there be Adi Bhautik, other people, animal, like virus now. These are all trouble. So let there be peace in that. And then third one is, which is not by any person's wish or any trouble, but they only, this is because of that unknown factor. That's called the disaster, flood, hurricane, earthquake, things which happen, which is not by anyone's personal wish or desire. দেবলি না তুমি এত ছটপট করো না, তোমার এটা এটা অত নাচানাচি করছে কেন? ক্যামেরাটা হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ না, ওটাকে স্টেডি করে দাও, তা নাহলে ওই হচ্ছে কি ওই এটা লাফাচ্ছে তো তাতে ডিস্টারবেন্স হয়। হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা। So now this verse is called Isha Upanishad because it is talking, the very first verse starts with that word Isha. So we have discussed that Isha, that very verse is very important verse. It has changed the life of many people. So this Isha Upanishad, this first starting verse is very important, and it is a verse we can meditate every day. And what does it say? Isha Vashyam Idagam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagata Tena Tyaktena Bhunjitha Ma Grida Kashashit Dhanam. So this is the beautiful verse which says Isha. Isha means Paramatma, this supreme self, that supreme knowledge, that supreme consciousness, Isha. By that, Bhashyam. Bhashyam means Achadan, cover. Cover everything, whatever we see in this universe. It is covered with the idea of Brahman, Isha. Isha, by Isha, by God. By God here, the absolute, Satchidananda. Cover everything with Isha. Some may say Jesus Christ, no? Some explain sometimes it is called Jesus. Okay, that's also good. Cover everything with Christ. It's a language. Devotees will speak in their own way. You say this is mother's time, and cover everything with the Divine Mother. These are different languages. But here Isha, because it is Isha Upanishad, it is talking about covering everything with the consciousness, Satchidananda. Feel that everything is saturated. Just you say a table is there. Table may be whatever the table, you cover with a white sheet. Then you see it is white. So similarly, try to cultivate an eye, looking at this world, that it is only Isha, it's Paramatma, it is Supreme Self, it is consciousness, it is Satchidananda. Devotion, it is Ramakrishna, it is Rama, it is Krishna, it is whatever you love, it is Mother, Divine Mother. So whatever idea. So Isha Vashyam. Isha, what will you Vashyam? Sarvam. Everything we see here is not only holy or unholy. See God in the holy, see God in the unholy, see God in love, see God in hatred, see God in all modes of life. Every situation, wherever we go, we see, we interact, it is to be saturated with that God consciousness. So, Isha Vashyam. Isha, Shankaracharya says, Ishita Parameshwara, Paramatma Sarvasya. Shankaracharya says, it is by Ishita, by that Isha means, what is that? That is the Parameshwara, the supreme Ishvara, controller, which is Paramatma, the supreme self, supreme Atman, and Sarvasya. Huh? Paramatma, Sarvasya, everyone's supreme self, you, me. It is not very special for holy people. It is not very remote from the people who are not spiritual. It is there, but to recognize is our question. That's why we have to cultivate this attitude that everything is to be covered with this attitude. Shankara says, Sahi Sarvam Iste, Sarvajantunam Atma. Because everyone is, that is the heart of everyone. Sarvajantunam, every created being, it is the heart resides in that. মুশকিল কি করে কি আর? And what is that? Jatkincha jagatyam jagat. Jatkincha meaning whatever you find. Idam sarvam jatkincha. What does it mean? Sankara says, Jatkinchit jagatyam prithibhyam jagat. In this prithvi, in this earth, where we are roaming around, where we are sitting, talking, interacting, surviving. So that prithibhyam, that jagat. And how? Tat sarvam shreno atmana. And that is to be covered by Isheno, Isha, the God, the divine, which is yourself. Don't think there is something else other than our divine self inside. So that is the idea. It is to be basyam, means achadaniyam. It is to be covered. So this says that sarvam means your own atmana, by your own self, by this Paramatma. Why? It is pratyagatmataya ahamevam idang sarvamiti paramartha sattarupena annitamidi iti sarvam characharam achadanya. This chara and achara, this moving, I am reading Sankara a little bit, says that which is moving and non-moving entity in the world, it is Paramartha Sattva, its real essential nature is that Isha, that Paramatma, and not this Jagat, this world as we see, which is always changing. That is to be Characharam Achadanyam, that is to be covered by this Paramatma. Given the example, Shankara gives the old type of example. Suppose you have a sandalwood piece of wood, sandalwood, but kept not in a proper place, and it becomes dirty, and it accumulates dirt, and its smell is not found. So what you do then? You just by rubbing it, what happens? That nirghar sena achhadyate seno paramarthiko. That then when you just cover it with or remove the dust and dirt of the sandalwood, then spontaneously the sweet fragrance of what you call your sandalwood becomes spontaneously perceivable. To see, cover everything with that consciousness, will happen? The sweetness, the joy, the divine which is within will spontaneously manifest itself. Dvaita Rupam Jagatyang Prithibhyam. What? This, what is to be covered? Our ego. Jagat, in this world, our Dvaita Rupam, which lives on duality only, multiplicity. We don't find unity. Even in our close relations also, we don't find unity. What the question of the whole world, no? Or we see it is only diverse, only diverse. So beyond that diversity, that this whole world, Jagat, Jagatyam iti, of this world, it is upalakshanartham, means it indicating that it is sarvameva nama rupa karmakham. Everything which has a name, nama, which has a form, rupa, which has some action, karma, that is involvement with the name, form, and action. That is the world. Everything you find which has action, which has a name, which has a form, just cover everything with that divine self. So, evam ishara atma bhavanaya yuktasya. Suppose if we can start practicing to see the divine, the Paramatma in everything, evam such ishara atma bhavanaya, that ishara, that divine, and this which is my real self, is non-different. It is in everything which is moving, unmoving. If one can find that identity as self, as consciousness, as Atman, as Satchidananda, then Putro Adi Yeshunatra Yeshannaso na Vikarujatam Paramartha Satta Atma Bhavanaya Tyaktam. Second verse says that you cover. But if you cover it one-sided, covering will not do. You have to throw away something. What to throw away? Tena tyak. The second line, look at that. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. You have to know how to enjoy the world. Tena tyaktena bhunjita means you have to learn to bhog. You have to enjoy. But we don't know to enjoy. Rather, coming to enjoy, we become enjoyed. That is the statement of what called that bhakti hari. Bhogana bhukta, vayameva bhukta. We try to enjoy something, but that object enjoys me more, rather I enjoy it. No? So therefore, it's everything like that. If you like some object, you want to enjoy the sweetness of ice cream. And if you get to ice cream has eaten you, that means whenever you see ice cream, you'll have to go run for it and have it. Though it is diabetes, but I take injection and still I go for sweet. So this is the style. It is bhogana bhukta. So renounce. What to renounce? I want to enjoy, and you are saying renounce. Is it not a contradictory thing? I want to enjoy, and you say, renounce. Or if I renounce, then where is the question of enjoyment? No, this is a special enjoyment. By renouncing, you enjoy. This is a very confusing word. And here many people will raise question. But the Sankara here took up this subject. He says that bikara jatam, that which has a bikara, changes. Give up that changeable part. Bikara jatam, nam rupa karmakam. Anything which has a name, and name has a form has an action form. If this three is there, therefore what you do? You give up that changeable aspect. And there is some eternal aspect, which is unchanging, which is of the nature of bliss. And with that Isha, that Paramatma outlook, it is outlook. Object does not change. Don't you think that we are ignorant, that's why we see a book as book, and a Nwara Brahman sees Brahman? No. They see the book, but they see Brahman in the form of Brahman. They see the wave. At the same time, they see it is water. But we see only the wave. If it is sweet wave, we swim. If it is torrential wave, then or it is frightening wave, we run away of the wave. And if we are caught into the wave, we get uh, blasted. No, suppose one does not know how to swim and faces a big wave on the beach, and he was just going to take a dip, then you know what happens. The wave then thrushes you onto the uh, shore and you break your arms. No? So this happens. Therefore, give up that part, but take it as Paramatma. So this is Jagatam, Dvaita Rupam Jagat, that is Prithvi, and Nama Rupa Karmatkam, and not only name, form, and action, but Vikara Jatam. It has its all changes, and every moment the forms are changing, names are changing. Paramartha Sattu Atma Bhavanaya Taktam. You think it is what I'm seeing, it is my own self. There is the same consciousness here, same consciousness there. Same H2O here, same H2O there. Only name and form is different. So you give up one side and accept another side. Give up which is changeable aspect, accept what is unchangeable absolute aspect. That's why hold on to the feet of God. People say in bhakti that, in this world, everything is changing. Hold on to the feet of the Lord. God is only eternal. Everything changes. People say like that. So that idea, you have to give up and then enjoy. Evam Ishvaro Atma Bhavanaya Yuktasya. If one can think that this Ishvara, this consciousness, what is in everywhere and what is in me, they are the one and the same. If one can think like that, then they will be not attached to the world and worldliness. They will be putradi shunatraya sannaso evo udhikaruna karmasu. They will think they will be fit for detachment. They will have family, friend, and everything, but they will be detached and they will enjoy the family friends as God, as divine. Is it not? So this is the Isha Upanishad's great message. Teno takteno means tagena ittartha. By renouncing, you enjoy. This is a very technical term. You renounce and then you enjoy. It is not in the vocabulary of our language. We have never heard this language. That you enjoy, we understand. But they are saying by giving up, you enjoy. By giving up, how can we enjoy? Giving up what? The changeable aspect, which is continuously undergoing with the time. His form is changing, his name is changing, his beauty is changing. It is becoming old, it is becoming one day nothing. That form changes into one day's death. But which does not change is that, and that unchangeable is in me also as consciousness. So I associate here, dissociate on the other side. So this is the idea. Therefore, Magridha, and therefore Magridha Kasya Siddhana. Then you need not have to uh, be greedy for anyone's money, wealth, beauty, because it is you. Whatever you see, the name and form, if you can give up, then it is the same substance everywhere. And if it is you don't expect. Suppose in your home there is a precious stone. You don't think that, oh, I'll have to get it. How shall I go? How shall I receive it? It is yours. It's a part of you. So enjoy that way, that you are nothing to gain because you are the essence of everything in the universe. So this is the first verse. So what it says, in this universe, whatever you find which is momentary, temporary, all these objects are to be covered with Parameshwar, Supreme Self, And by proper renunciation, money, not identifying with the changeable thing, holding on to identification with the unchanging substance, tagi, by tagi, nurture your Atman. Be blessed. That's why you see the people who meditate, they disidentify with the name and form and try to think inside. First of all, they think of the Ishta Devata or something about the infinite ocean of love and consciousness. No? So dive into that, and then you find that divinity everywhere. So that is the renunciation and that is the acceptance. Huh? And therefore, don't be greedy for anyone's wealth. There is no one but you. Every wealth is your wealth. The whole universe belongs to you. It is, as a bodily, we have no possession. And mentally, we are very weak. Emotionally, we are disturbed. Intellectually, we have our limitation. But when you think as Atman, which is the substratum of whole universe, you cover the whole universe with that attitude. And you see, everything belongs to you. That's why Brahmogyanis, they don't crave for anything. They don't expect anything from anyone. Why? They don't need it. Why? Why they will need it? Because he knows it is my me. I don't crave myself. It is me. I have it. I don't, my money is in the right pocket and another my pocket is empty. We may think. But if the money is mine, I keep it on the right or on the left is the same. Ramakrishna, example, Sri Ramakrishna, at the fag end of his life, when he was suffering from cancer, you all know, the Noren and other brothers, they are saying that no, you will have to just go and call mother and tell that to cure your cancer. So Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna said, I cannot say that. How can I talk to mother about this petty thing? Then he said, no, you will have to go and say on our behalf. So when he went, you know that story, he went to Holy Divine Mother and said, Ma, please do something so that I can eat something to this. And he came back and scolded Vivekananda, future Vivekananda Noren, saying that you rascal, you taught me wrong way. And I told mother, and mother said, why are you to eat through this mouth? Are you not eating through all the mouth? This Vedanta is being taught there. Every mouth is your mouth. That's why it's not necessary that I should have to eat through this mouth only. I am eating through millions of mouths. I am working through millions of hands. I am working through millions of legs. So this is the point. This is the point we understood. No, nothing to give up. Because you are that. You cannot give up anything. No need of giving up. But you have to give up which at the temporary level, which is mundane and changeful. Give up the changeful, accept the eternal. And then you must not have any greed for anything in the universe. There is nothing outside you which you should grieve. People go for what? People go to heaven. Why? They think that heaven, there is something more which is not here. But in the heaven also the same Satchidananda, and here also same. So what will you ask for? What will you demand? What will you want? So that is the point, that Vedantic concept that you cannot get anything. So that was the first verse. If you have any question, then we can have some response. Have you any question? Anyone?
Do we have any questions so far? I think Pasuda has one question. Pasuda, go ahead and ask us your question, please. Unmute yourself.
Who wants to speak, then unmute yourself and then talk.
I have unmuted. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Here, there is another, two other words are there. One is
Punjita.
And also Kashashti Dhanam. Is this particular sloka telling us that Teno Takteno, after renouncing, you can enjoy Gunjita, and also Gunjita basically protect.
Palon kara, to nurture, to protect. And Koshashit means someone else's property.
Someone else's property.
Or wealth or money or beauty or anything you think, which is, you think it is not me. It's someone. There is no someone. It is you.
Also, you say that this particular sloka is telling that everything is because I am that soul, the consciousness. So everything else, what we see with our eyes, everything belongs to me. I am the owner. But in another sense, they are saying that do not covet anything because it belongs to the Parameshwar.
So, true. Tale, you see, I means what now? I means this. I have a bank balance. I have my property. I have my land. But when this I is gone, I is Paramatma. And then I is the Supreme Self. So I am everywhere. So I don't need, but I have to give up this little I and my position. This is to be given up. That is Tyaktva. We have to give up that part. Because it will be only a mad person who will say, oh, the whole bank account, all the billions and trillions of dollars, it is my property. It's only a crazy guy will say that. Not in the relative level. But when I give up my identity, I am not the body, not the mind, I have no bank account, that does not matter anything. I am that Satchidananda. Then this whole world is mine. Because I as consciousness everywhere. I am one universe, I am, it belongs to me as conscious and Satchidananda. But not as an individual, I am limited. Even your Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, they are also gods with limited capacities and power, restraint. That's why the gods could not fight with the demons. Then they had to create Mother Durga. And Ma Durga came and then destroyed the demon. And there, because there is duality, so Mother is destroying that duality, that ego of the Asura. This is also, you can link with that Mother Durga's play with the Asura, that is destroying our lower vasanas, the desires. I like this. All the asuras are what? This is in us. We are asking for, I will be happy with this, I'll give this, be greedy. And all these things go because I feel this way. Body, mind, emotion, ego. So he's saying, give up that idea. You are not the body, not the mind, not that. So the name and form which you see, that is to be discarded. So we are to give up that side and accept that side. When I accept I am not the body, my dimensioning increases. No. Whenever I think I am I, any time we say the word I, you see what you feel. Meaning I am this 5 feet 6 inches man with this body weight, with this education, with this background, all the garbage we have. We carry our baggage. And that is me. But that me is not the me you talked here. No. So if we can renounce that, then we come back to that reality which is unchanging reality. Well, Vedanta also teaches the same way, no? I'm not the body, not the mind, not the intellect, not the ego, but I am that supreme self. Mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, ninaham. Nacha Shrotra Jive, etc. But Sankara says, I am Chidananda Rupaha, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am that Shiva, I am that Shiva, I am that consciousness, I am that Satchidananda self. And I am as that, I am everywhere. There is no question of any other thing in the universe. Okay?
Yeah, I think Maharajji, we have one more question. Anand is going to ask you one question.
Maharaj, you explained to enjoy the world, renounce. So they are very conflicting, contradictory. That's some concept which I am trying to understand. Just a clarification, not a question at all. That is, if one assumes the whole world is filled up with the same self, what exists in you, and that infinity is filling up space and time, everything. If you want to enjoy that type of a world, you should renounce. Is that understanding correct, Maharaj?
Yeah, here enjoyment is a word. It is used in the sense to give us an idea. We like to enjoy what I have not. So that type of mental condition which pulls our heart to run for higher something. So enjoyment means that there enjoyer, enjoyment, all will be one. No? There is no enjoyment in that sense. And when you see that I am not the body, not the mind, then what remains? I am Satchidananda. That also they are saying. But that I who will enjoy, he is also become one with the cosmic. So actually the word enjoyment is not there at all, because there is no enjoyer, there is no enjoyment, there is no tool through which you will enjoy. But still, it is giving an idea that you try to enjoy this world with so much of its diversity and name and form. They are so people, they're so changeable. So can you get out of it? Rather, why not love your own self, which is unchanging, and that self is everywhere, and cover the whole universe with that attitude? Eh? It belongs to me. It is another form of me. I in the another form. So I think yes, you are correct. We cannot say enjoyment word, because enjoyment means the enjoyer, the object of enjoyment, and the tool through which we enjoy. Three things are necessary. But in that total dedication, in the total sacrifice, that ego being gone, ego is the last trace. That's why last Mahishasura was killed. That is the ego. In the Chandi, ego is the last one. That is the Sandhi Puja time, mother kills. No? That's why the light comes out. You see, when Sandhi Puja will happen, you will see in the puja area, they light a candle, huge light, and then many wigs they burn together to show all darkness goes, all ignorance goes. Thakur said, Ami mole guchibe janjal. When I is killed, then everything is gone. All the rubbish will go away. That means there is no, only truth will remain, joy will remain, peace will remain. So there is no enjoyer in that sense. But still, we will understand the language much better if we say it is joy. We enjoy there. Okay? Am I? Is it clear a little bit?
Any response? If not, probably we will ask Gaurav to ask his question. So, only Gaurav, if you can make it small and tight.
Swami, I was Pranam Swamiji. So, pain Chaktina Bundida, can I see? Can I understand it as like protect myself, seeing no connection with the object?
Yeah. No, I have connection, but wrong connection as separate from me. Another object, I am an object, I am a subject, there is an object, subject, object. Because of the ignorance, mind is functioning and this distinction. But when it is wiped out, that means my subject object identity will diffuse with the concept that it is Paramatman. It is Paramatman, it is Paramatman. In essential, it is the Atman Satchidananda, that is the Atman Satchidananda. Then this superficial distinction which we are holding on throughout our life will just collapse. It will go away. Let me see the consciousness or see God everywhere. Your God means a personal idea. That confuses. That's why you are using the term Atman. That's why you are saying the Brahman. That is why you are saying Satchidananda, Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. That Ananda part. Hmm? Okay? Huh? Gaurav, anything more?
Yeah, thanks, Swami.
Okay. Okay, so now let us go to the next part. Anything more? If you have anything, otherwise you go to the next.
Maharaj, I have very short one. Sorry.
Ah.
So if I understand, or I may be confusing, but still I would like to clarify. For enjoying the unchanging world, one should renounce the changing world. Is that
Yeah. The starting point is that. Well, unchanging, we turn towards the unchanging rather than the changing. All the changing things we see, this is also play of Maya, ignorance. Because there is, all the changes are only appearance. But what is changing, that is not appearance. The water in the ocean is changing into a bubble, changing into a ripple, changing into a wave. They're changing. And that after change, it is always undergoing a separate other changes. Sometimes it is becoming bigger, sometimes smaller, sometimes it collapses, it fights, and ultimately it collapses and goes back to the ocean. So what we get here, under these three conditions, whether it is bubble, ripple, or whatever, it is H2O. If we look at that, in that H2O, nothing change is happening. Only when it is in name and form and separated by identity, that is, I am separate, you are separate, there comes this problem. So, unchanging, to look at the unchanging and renouncing the changes, which we are always seeing, that will be our practice. This is spoken in another language. All these Prakarana Granthas, the preliminary texts of Vedanta, they teach us step by step, because it is Upanishad is the cream of all this intellectual discussion. That's why here we get the net result of the whole equation. But if we start from the beginning, there is a procedure how to reach at that climax. That's why we try to cultivate what is goodness in us and give up what is not that honorable, from lower truth to higher truth, and move on by our purity, by our sincerity, and by our all prayers, meditation, reading good books, all these things, the mind getting pure, and this distinction is vanishing gradually. And then our mind will teach, no. Even in the bad, there is Holy Mother, no? Sarat is as my son, so is this Amjad. So see, in the eyes of mother seeing the duality name and form, but she has the power to renounce the outer coating of the personality, which is Sarvadevananda, a holy person, a great monk, great scholar, very learned and pure person. And conversely, that highway robber who is stealing every day, get caught by the police, going to the jail, and again stealing and doing all these things. See, they are same. They are my child. That means the name and form and the changeable aspect, mother's eyes is not there. Mother goes to the ground, is as my Sarat, so is my Amjad. As is Amjad, so is my Sarat. So these are the practical application of Isha Upanishad. That will be the end result. So if we practice every day, then gradually this truth will be so much deepen in our consciousness that we'll try to see the consciousness aspect, Satchidananda aspect, rather than this changeable aspect, which is variable. No one is a saint. Saint has a past, and a sinner has a future, because these are changeable. Sainthood, sinnerhood, these are all qualities. No, qualities can come, qualities can go, and qualities come and go in ignorance. So long we are bound in the ignorance, this will play. But when you go beyond that, then all this duality vanishes. So this should be a practice. So see God everywhere. And you can say that this is the seeing God everywhere. But we cannot see God everywhere. We see mostly the human aspect, the evil aspect, the good aspect, nice aspect. So here Upanishad is teaching us, give up that changing aspect, which can be changed. Today is a sinner, he can be changed. Tomorrow he will be a sage. Highway robber, what? Who was highway robber? Became Valmiki. So any one person, drastic change. Girish Ghosh, what Girish Ghosh? Came in touch with Ramakrishna, totally transformed. Girish Ghosh used to say, you look where you are to, have you any doubt to think that where Ramakrishna is avatar or God or not? Look at me. This is the example here. What I was and what I am. Hey, see? It is changeable aspect. And our eyes go only on the changeable aspect of a personality. We see all the faulty side, or we praise the good side of the person. Good side, bad side, both are the gunas action. That I am seeing because I am steeped into the gunas. When I can go little up above the gunas, you will see there is only divine. It is like a puppet show. God is playing puppeteer. God is the puppeteer. And we are all dumb puppets. We think we are doing everything. But as we know, puppet show, everything is done by the puppeteer. Puppets have no freedom. Though they may be proud that, I am such, I am killing someone. He is bad guy, I am good guy. These are all puppets. Duryodhan said, no, that whatever good or bad you say, it is, oh Krishna, you are the indweller. You control me. So I am doing that. You have made me to play a bad role. Okay. It's better. It's a very bad thing. It is not an ordinary thing to accept a bad role. Good role is good role. Everyone wants to be wholly honest, no? So in spiritual life, that's why first give up the bad to good, and good you reached, bad and good both go beyond. That's the Vedantic idea. And Nishtrai Gunno, Bhavarjuna, O Arjuna, you go beyond the three gunas. But all we are playing, all your discussion, Nama, Rupa, Vikara, Karma, etc., what we are saying, action. This is indeed the play of the Nama, Rupa is a guna, three gunas. So, Nishtraiguna Bhavarjuna, oh Arjuna, you become Nishtraiguna, beyond all gunas, be free from all gunas. So,
any other questions? Anybody?
No, Maharaj, you mentioned Thakur as Girish Ghosh. You start telling everybody, I am an avatar. What did you understand of me? That's what Thakur asked Girish Ghosh. Girish Ghosh's reply was, Master, Vyasa could not understand you. Valmiki could not understand you. How can I understand of you? Is that what he said, Maharaj?
yeah, Ramakrishna said that. Girish said that. What can I say? And that, hearing that, what happened? Then Ramakrishna went back to his own consciousness and went to Samadhi. He is not Ramakrishna as a body and mind, but he is that Satchidananda in the Ramakrishna form. Because Vyasa described whom? Krishna. Valmiki described whom? Rama. And they could not describe who is Rama, who is Krishna. So how I can describe you? That means he's making that you are not the Ramakrishna in name and form, suffering from cancer. That person is not the real person. You are that Satchidananda from where Rama and Krishna came, and you are the same. So that is the idea. So when that level one can go, then duality does not remain. That's why Ramakrishna went into ecstasy. And in that time, all world will dissolve. This world of duality and all this, what we see, good, bad, everything dissolves. But what remains is unchangeable, absolute. And then he came down again, and then he blessed everyone. Then everyone remained, again everyone, then came everyone. Then Girish is Girish, this is this, and he's touching someone is having ecstatic experience, seeing the divine within, as if his Ishta is moving like a living being. No? All these things, by touch he is giving everyone. It's a duality, but giving a boosting to everyone's consciousness. And that's why he blessed. What more shall I say? You be all aware of your divine consciousness. Tomader Chaitanya Hok. You be aware of your divinity. You be aware of your conscious entity. What is that's the verse here we have read. Yeah? It is to be permeated with that consciousness only. So I think our time is
completely convincing now. Things are very clear now, very convincing.
Now we'll have to meditate on this more and more. And that's why sadhana, whatever big Vedanta we read, it will be all meaningless unless we do our regular mantra japa, practice prayer, and cry and weep and try to do good work, try to see the holiness in others, purity in others. The gradual development, this vikara, this false identification, false knowledge about people we see, about myself, about you, all these will go away gradually, because it plays in the realm of ignorance, in the play of duality. So this vikaro, nama rupa shankara is what? Nama rupa vikaro. This vikaro you have to get out. Vikar in Bengali is also a bad word, vikaro. Vikar means one has, when one drinks, and then he loses his own nature. He becomes bikaro. he changes his behavior, what he does not know. So this is bikaro. There is a song, Eki bikar o Shankari, O mother Shankari. What is this bikar? What is this transformed form of me? I belong to you, and forgetting that, how I am leading my life. So language is different, but Vedanta will say, try to see what is the ultimate truth. Don't look at the facial value of things. No, rather go deep into the subject. So I think we are done. 5:31, 7:31.
Yeah, I think we are basically top of the hour now. Yeah. So probably, I don't think we have any more questions. Probably not, right? So maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe. Someday I think we are done.
Okay.
So
then, but what happened? What I think you are all doing those chants, no? Sandhi, the Jai Sri Durga. Yeah, you all whatever you do, let it be collected with in Chaya or anywhere who is authorized to whom it will all come, and I will get the total number at the end of all. Let the Vijaya, let it goes. Let it go for a few time more and do as much and feel the mother's strength and courage. And what is that? To fight with the odds of life, no? Corona is so much going on everywhere. So be careful about that. Take care of yourself and also pray for others. Prayer has a tremendous power. And for your own good, you can just see this divine Isha Vashyam Simple one word you can remember. Isha Vasham Idagam Sarvam, whatever you are saying. Jat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat, whatever in this Jagat, in this world, in this earth, changeable is making a change. Tena Taktena Gunjita, therefore you enjoy. You want to enjoy. We all want to enjoy in our present level. Let us enjoy in a higher level, in a higher level, in a higher level. And you point, you go, then the enjoyed will be all one. You cannot say you enjoy. There is any object to be enjoyed, and there is no organ through which you will enjoy. No? So that is the ultimate state, being Jiva Atma Paramatma. And after that, you see yourself in everywhere. Ramakrishna saw the unity in everywhere. The grass, the man is walking on the grass, Ramakrishna feeling the identity. The boatman fighting in the boat, giving a slap, Ramakrishna is feeling that slap. No? There's Swami Vivekananda is feeling the pain of the volcanic eruption which happened in the Fiji during that night. Like that, the identification extends. Not only the pain side, joy side also. Okay? So we end here today. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you all. Stay well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jai Ma.
Thank you. Thank you.
Questions.
Key. Oh, we are not reading. Which book we are reading? This book is, you can take any book. I am taking Sankara commentary. But it is, I will not follow all through. It is Durgacharan Sankha Vedanta, and that is the Shankara's commentary, and translation is there. But any book will do. Sarvananda Swami's book will be better, the small book, or Gambhirananda Swami's book. Though he is Bengal. No, acha. How we can join the Zoom instead of YouTube live stream? You can Zoom. We are not using the Zoom. Actually, it should be, but we have not that scope.
That is not different group. We have to.
Oh, the Zoom. Acha, if you want to have a Zoom, write me. Then I will. My email is Mrinal. You are writing that how we can join the Zoom instead of YouTube live stream. You have to write me an email. Then I will ask where to contact. It is called sarvodeva@vedanta.org. sarvodeva@vedanta.org. Thank you. Okay, bye. কজন ছিল এখানে?
কজন ছিল?